Okay, give it a good whack.
Okay.
So I want you to be very careful because here's a butcher knife, which I have clamped to the stove over here. And I have this little
Yellow dot
pasted there so you can see where the point is. And here's another one fastened over here to the counter. Okay. Now hand me that piece of paper.
This one?
Yeah, here's a loop of newspaper which I'm going to put over here right on that sharp edge. You put the other one over here like that.
Okay.
Okay. Now hand me one of those sticks over there.
This one?
Mm-hmm. Okay, now we're suspending the stick from two pieces of newspaper supported by knife edges. Here is a piece of wood which I'd like you to use as a bat. You know how to use a bat?
Yeah.
I want you to come down here and hit it in the center as hard as you can. Okay, what's going to happen?
The paper's going to break.
You think so, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's supported only by that thin knife edge. All right, hard as you can, fast.
Okay. Holy. The paper didn't break.
The paper didn't break, and you broke the stick in half.
Holy.
Now, how come?
Because I hit it so fast it didn't have time to.
Well, that sounds sort of logical, but that's not quite it. Speed is important. So let's set it up again. That paper's okay. This one's okay. Now hand me another piece of wood. The reason why the paper doesn't break and the piece of wood does is a thing called inertia. Have you ever heard of inertia?
No.
It's the tendency on the part of an object to stay at rest if it's at rest until something moves it. Or if the object is moving, to continue to move until something stops it.
Like a car.
Yeah, it happens in a car.
So if you're going real fast and you stop at a red light, the inertia would make you go forward.
Right.
And if you were going slow and stopped at a red light, you wouldn't go anywhere.
Okay, but now if you were at a red light and you started real fast, there's a tendency for you to stay still. Okay, well that's what's happening here. So just to prove it, hit it again, but very slowly.
So it's just like push?
Just push down on it and see what happens.
The paper broke.
Yeah, you broke both of them. Okay?
And the wood didn't break.
And the wood didn't break. Okay, now bring two more pieces of paper over here.
This one and this one.
And you know what to do, how to set it all up?
Yeah.
Okay, here, I'll hold that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Is that good?
Good.
And
There you are.
and put the piece of wood in here.
Okay, are you ready? Okay, now why does the stick break and not the piece of paper?
Because of the
Inertia. Okay, give it a good whack.
Okay.
Very good. This is not pepper that I am sprinkling on your hand, right, Derek?
No.
Yeah. Have you any idea what it is?
Not one idea.
Well, they're iron filings, so that gives you an idea what's underneath the cardboard, right? What?
A magnet.
Right, a magnet. And it's strong enough to go right through your hand.
It looks like it's just the werewolf's hair.
Right. Like you're growing moss on your black moss on your hand. Okay, turn your hand upside down. Because very often when you do experiments like this with a magnet, you put a piece of paper on it and you put iron filings on it in order to see the lines of force. And you can see them here. See them?
Yeah.
Okay. And now you can also see them sticking up sort of in 3 dimensions, right? A strong magnet on it. In fact,
It must be a strong magnet under there because, whoa, it should be a strong magnet because look how big it is.
yeah, well now you can go ahead and play with it like this. See?
It's hard even to pull off.
All right.
So it must
Okay, let's get it off of there so you can take a look at that magnet. Okay, dump it over here on the tray.
Okay.
Now you can take the box off and take a look at what's underneath.
Oh, that's huge.
That is really a magnet, right? As a matter of fact, to give you an idea how strong it is, take the hammer off.
Oh, that'll be pretty. Not easy.
Really strong.
Yeah.
Really strong. Now, in other words, to prevent that thing from happening, engineers and scientists, when they work with magnets, they put a keeper on it. And here's a keeper. It's a piece of metal which they put across the top. So here, put it on.
Okay.
Watch your fingers.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay, here's another one. Okay. Now the magnetic force is going through this, so that's why they call it a keeper. Now, have you ever done any experiments with magnets?
Yeah, sometimes at school when the teacher's out of the room, we take magnets that we see on the board and we throw them against the board and we just see if they can stick, and if they don't stick, then
Okay, you call that an experiment?
sort of.
Well, yes, I would say that's an activity
Yeah.
at least, right? Anyway, so there must be some metal in the blackboard. Or is there a green board?
No, it's a black.
Black
it's a
one.
black
Okay, so it's probably metal
Yeah.
covered with something so that you can
Yeah.
write on it with chalk. Well, now you began to get the feeling of what the magnetic lines of force look like in 3 dimensions. But here's a much better way over here. See that plastic box? Shake it all up. Because inside there are iron filings similar to those we had on the big magnet, but they're suspended in mineral oil, which is fairly thick, which means that the iron filings will sort of stay suspended a lot more. Okay, now put it down on here again.
Okay.
And here is a magnet. And I can stick it in a little tube that runs through the middle of these iron filings. And now you can see the lines of force much more easily and in 3 dimensions. See how they're beginning to go around each end of the magnet?
Looks just like the iron filings on my hand.
Right, on your hand, except this time you can see them in 3 dimensions because that's the way the lines of force exist around the magnet. But most of the time you don't realize it. And now you can with this special kind of box that has mineral oil and iron filings in it and a magnet.